tell us about some of the roster changes? We see Adam Gaudette, Yang Yanni cleared waivers. Just what do you say about the 23 you've got left here?
Well, first of all, we kept Adam. We've sent Zach and Janny back to Belleville today, and not easy decisions.
Wait, you said you sent Zach?
Awesome, Chuck.
Okay.
Yes.
Back to Belleville?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure.
You
And
said-
kept Adam Gaudette?
Yes. Adam will stay with the team.
Okay.
You sent Carter Yakimchuk back to the WHL too. I just would like to know what the thinking was with sending him back.
Yeah, that was a very long, thought-out process. I think within our whole organization, we went back and forth on it a lot. Not an easy decision to make, and at the end of the day, I think we just felt to keep his progression going, what's best for him as a player, stability for him as well, that it'd be best if he goes back for one more year at junior and play a big part of his team in Calgary, World Junior stuff. And, again, it was not an easy decision to make for our group.
Does he see the expectations during camp,
Yeah.
Yakimchuk?
Yes, extremely high praise for his camp, especially for a coach that hasn't really seen him. Very easily could have kept him around. But again, we're not just thinking about, we're thinking about the future, we're thinking about now, and we think that what's best for the player ultimately was for him to go back. And it's not an easy league for 19-year-old defensemen. And he's a young man that has a bright future, and we're extremely high on him. And just felt like that was the best decision for him.
It's only going to help his development, isn't it?
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, that was how we got there. And it's exciting too. Exciting for Ottawa, exciting for our team, for our organization to have a young man come in and play as well as he did. But if you go over the history of the game, it's a hard league for young defensemen, and you have to make hard decisions sometimes. And at the end, and again, it came back to what's best for him.
What are some
Just
things you'd like
expand
to
on
see?
those-
You go ahead, Bruce.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can you just expand on those Stabchuk too and the decision there?
Yeah, again, I think when we made that final decision, and this can change very quickly. Our lineup can change. We've got Belleville's not far away. We can bring guys in and out. But for now, that was the 13 forwards that we wanted to start with. And, give those guys credit. They've all had decent camps, but, for Stopchuk, he's still a young player and got for me, a real bright future in the league. He's close, but he's just not quite there yet. And he's an impressive young man. There's not many guys that are young players when you call them in that they can really be honest about their game and assess their game. And as hard of a decision as it was after we talked with him, I think I'm confident that we've made the right decision with this one, and that he'll be back as a big part of our group at some point in his career.
And what is it you like about Adam to keep him up?
I just thought he had a good camp. He's played a lot of center in the NHL. I think they've, he had a good camp, and he deserves to be there. So at the end of the day, that was where we went. You had a couple more?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, not to double back on Carter, but
Yeah.
what are some things you'd like to see him improve on when he goes back to Calgary?
He's just probably needs just to mature and get older. He's going to be a point guy. We foresee him being a top defenseman in the NHL. And a lot of times that's just maturity over your whole game, getting stronger physically. He's a big man. I think there's still a lot of room for growth as far as where his strength is going to end up when he plays in the NHL full time. I think it's just a natural progression, being a leader, being an everyday player. He's learned a lot in a short period of time here in camp, and not going back and just forgetting that. Like, continue to push yourself to be great every day.
when you have that kind of discussion about a guy like Yakimchuk, who's played so well, but also, you know, can't really, can only, you know, what I'm trying to say is that he can stay with the big club, but he can also go down, and it's kind of a make or break for him. And with Staios involved, like, what are those discussions like? Is it all up to you? Is it
No,
Staios?
no. First of all, I'm not going to get into the details of our discussions, but I think one thing about this group is that there is a lot of open discussion. Steve's very thorough. He makes the final call on a lot of things with our group, but he definitely takes into consideration everyone's opinions, and then he's going to make an educated decision on everything.
What do you like the most about your 23-man roster?
It's 22, I believe, right now. Yeah, 22-man roster. Well, I like our training camp. I've liked the group since I took over, and rightfully so after I've seen them. I think our group is hungry to win and eager to learn, and they've been working hard, and I know they're excited to get going on Thursday.
Amar is out for a while,
Yeah,
How long?
not sure exactly.
but it's not short term.
It's not, yeah, a week to 2 weeks.
And Claude Giroux, I'm assuming it's related to the birth
Yeah.
of his child.
Yeah, it is. He'll be
When do you
back.
expect him back?
Tomorrow.
What also, speaking of defense, just what intangibles do players like Travis Hamonic can bring to this group?
Veteran presence, understanding of the game. You know, I think Hammer looks like he's kind of found his game a little bit. Worked hard over the summer. You know, skated a lot more than he has in the past. I think he came into camp probably in a better condition than maybe years past. He's put the work in to rejuvenate his career, and he's had a good camp too.
Seeing those things, is that part of the reason you send Carter down, just because you know that Travis is going to play a big role here?
Yeah, everything went into it. When it came into Carter's decision, it was not necessarily just about the players here. It was about what's best for this young man to make sure that he becomes the player that we envision.
Historically, this team in the last couple of seasons had that great start of the
Mm-hmm.
season. How important is it for you in this group to finally get out of the gate good and fast?
Well, it's important for sure. I'm not worried about what's happened in the past. Every team in the league right now is trying to get out to a good start, and we're no different. We want to get out to a good start too.
Now that you have your kind of roster mostly set, how does this just make your job easier as a coach moving forward the next couple of days?
It does. You know, we've got some lines in our head as far as how we want to start. Pretty clear picture as to what the opening night roster will look like. Not to mention the players on the team also have an idea of who they're playing with, who's on the team, who's not, and that's always, you know, a topic of conversation in a locker room.
Broad question, but what does it mean to have a goalie of Linus Ullmark's caliber on this team?
It means a lot. Yeah, anytime you have a good goalie, it puts a lot of confidence in your team. It's an important position. You know, I think it goes without saying how important it is having a good goalie or an upper echelon goalie in the league. Anyone else?
Sorry, just to piggyback Claire's question earlier about Godet. Did his offensive aptitude and his shot play a part in your decision? Like, do you envision him getting power play reps in the second unit?
Potentially, but it wasn't just about that. I think his ability and his understanding of the game as well. He's played a fair amount of games in the NHL. He knows the importance of you know, playing if he's on the fourth line, knowing that role, knowing what's expected. Not worrying about getting points in that role, and if you do, that's great too. You good?
You coached him in Vancouver. How much does maybe the pass and having that
Nothing.
trust?
No, he did not make the team because of his past with me.
Knowing the player and kind of evaluating it.
Well, I do know him, but he's come in and played well. He also knows me and knows what's expected and knows that he's going to have to play well to stay, much like everyone else.
Would you like the leadership group who has added some couple of veterans during the offseason with Perron, Cousins, and everything?
Well, I like it. It's still, now's the time that we get to actually work with it. And when we talked about finally getting our team together, now we also get to see our team together. And, you know, when you talk about leadership group, I think that can vary as to who it is. And I get to learn more about the team now as they're all together as well.
That's great. Can plan for the whole week here. We got 4 days now, so it's exciting. We're getting in a really good part now, and starting to push forward, trying to apply everything that we've learned over the last couple of weeks here with Travis, the mentality and type of game team identity we want to have on the ice. So it's really exciting.
He had said last week, Travis said last week, that he liked the progress of training camp. I'm assuming you guys feel the same.
Yeah, we feel the same, exactly. And but at the same time, it's just I think a lot of teams are feeling pretty good about themselves and how do we react to adversity when it comes, things like that. And hopefully that we can build off what we just did here. And again, I think most teams feel pretty good about themselves right now. So it's up to us to make the best out of it early on.
David, in your experience, what's the most important thing to do in these couple of days between the preseason and the regular season?
Just stay calm and get ready. There's not much. You just do your same routine. Don't want to change too much. It is exciting. There's a lot of emotion. Certain games during the year like that, the first game of the year, it seems like it's a bigger game than it is. It's just one game in the end. And I think anytime there's games like that, whether it's in the playoffs, Game 7, things like that, you just got to fall back to your routine, whatever gets you comfortable to play your best. And that's what I'm going to look to do here personally.
There's been a lot of talk here about this team getting off to a good start. And
Okay.
how do you not get caught up in that?
Yeah, it's really just one game at a time. I'm not even sure how it went in the past year. I know I've heard some rumblings, but it's irrelevant. It's in the past. I think what we've done so far in this training camp is put our best foot forward, listen to their coaches as much as we can. I think we saw we got some wins in preseason, but not just the wins, just the way we played throughout certain times of the game. We applied exactly what Travis wanted us to do in all aspects, and it paid off a little bit. So now we reset that clock to 0, and we start building again.
In your short time around the team so far, what are your impressions of the younger players that make up the nucleus? Like
Yeah, it's awesome. Really, really awesome to get to know them. A lot of talent. They love being at the rink. They get here early. They stay late. They put in the work. So that's what makes me really excited to start the season with the guys here. I think we're ready to take a big step forward, and I want to be part of that.
So you were dealing with some spasms last week.
Yeah.
Of the season.
Yeah, doing better. It's great. I think it's a perfect week here coming up for me. We got some more skates with the team. Probably going to ramp up the intensity on a personal level. I pretty much went as normal today. Regular jersey, everything, and of course you kind of go in battles and you're being smart. I guess it's Monday of practice, and maybe Wednesday you just kind of Tuesday ramp it up a little more and go forward like that.
What did you notice about playing with Shane and Michael?
I love their game. I've been impressed with Shane, just all around solid player, and Mads. Same thing over the years. I know he's just a simple, solid player that has a good stick, is really reliable, and I want to pride myself doing the same thing. And I think we can be a good line if that's what Travis decides to have. I think we can be hard to play against, play down low, bring a lot of momentum to the team, and do our part that way.
Seems to be celebrating when guys score on this Olmark, more so than
Really?
Well, I'm just curious if it's guys who are more excited to be able to score and a guy that doesn't seem to give up.
I haven't noticed too much, but he talks a lot in the room. He brings some great energy, and usually when you give it a little bit, you have to be able to take it. I think he's doing a really good job of that. He's fun to be around, and I feel like I've known him for a lot longer. We've had multiple conversation about different things, hockey, life, whatever, and he's been a great teammate.
What do you think it's going to be like to play the Stanley Cup, defending Stanley Cup champions as your first game of the season?
Just another game. It's a new year. It's exciting for us to be able to measure our game the way we want to play against basically the team that just did it. I mean, at the same time, we can't make it a bigger game than it is. But it's really exciting. You want to do that every time you can play good, solid teams that have had winning culture for a long time. You can see where you're at with your team a little bit.
Did you get the impression Nick Cousins is a little bit more fired up? Have you talked to him?
Oh, I actually have not. I'm sure that's kind of a weird thing for sure. I just personally could, if I imagine playing my old team on the first game, it's a little different, but he's done it before. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think it's a different feeling driving to the rink this morning. Obviously, you get the home opener Thursday night, and the mindset starts to change, knowing it's regular season. And no, we're just excited and trying to do the best we can to be ready for it.
Given that it's the defending Stanley Cup champions, how does that change just the mentality of that game?
Yeah, no, it'll be exciting. I feel like anytime you play the defending Cup champs, you get up for that game, and now that it's the home opener, it adds even more to that. So it'll be a good game, and really looking forward to it.
How much talk in the locker room has been about a strong start this season?
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall. Our starts haven't been good the last few years, so it's really important. I think the coaching staff did a great job getting us to this point through a training camp, making sure we're ready to go, and guys are feeling good. So the excitement's high, and I think we're ready to rock. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I score on either of them in practice, I tend to celebrate a little just to get them going a bit. But he's a tough guy to score on, so I'll probably celebrate when I score on him.
What's it like also just being back playing with Josh Norris and Ridley's on that side too?
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm not sure exactly what the lines will look like. Obviously, G's not here today, but hopefully by tomorrow and the next day we'll get some chemistry going before game one, because throughout camp I've kind of played with everyone, and same for every other guy, so we'll see what happens.
I noticed your dad, Norm, in the stands, and he's often here at the beginning of the season, and also your sister May.
Yeah.
Like, what other family members are going to be here for opening night with you?
Yeah, no, my dad's probably catches 20 home games a year. He's here a lot, and my sister's been living with me for about 3 months now before her season starts, and my mom's coming up too, so not too big of a crew, but just the family.
Are you giving your sister any tips about what it's like to prepare for a pro season?
Yeah, no, I think she's training really hard. She's pretty smart herself, honestly, and she's been around. My dad played obviously pro, and same with me for a long time now, and she's really excited to get it going, and I'm happy for her.